Hello, everyone. Just a second. Boom and cheesy here. And I am here. Just a second. I'm here because I am doing a short video before I do a big stream. This is a promotion for what today is, which is the 18th of the first month, which is a Millie Day, also known as Winnie the Pooh Day. Now, this was the day that A. Millie he started on and created his first books of Winnie the Pooh it was about his son and the stuffed toys that he had. Now, you can get replicas of those stuffed toys that he had, but they have reimagined him many times over to create him more modern for Winnie the Pooh. Okay, so what I have here, The House at Pooh Corner by A. Millie. A. Milline. Winnie the Pooh Day, that is today. I'll be reading the first chapter in this book. Is there any artwork other than that? There's Chew right there. Okay, and then yeah, there is. So let's slowly look at the first pages of this book. Very small book, by the way. Christopher Robin playing with his toys, his stuffed toys. And then I will show you the next artworks as a reference, only in the first chapter, by the way. Some of them do reference into the story I'm going to read. But some of this is original artwork. This is a reprint book, by the way. Really, really good condition, by the way. Of 1970s. So if I looked at it correctly, it first got published in 1928. This is a reprint. Basically, I think reprinted in 1970 instead of 1928. So it's not by any chance anything old, really, for Millie. There is my friendly Eeyore, and this I will show in a few seconds. Eeyore getting more snow on him. And that was all from the first chapter. That was all the artwork. On all of the official days that I will do Winnie the Pooh, which is going to be random for reading, I'll be starting to do more than one. I'll be doing chapter after chapter, show the artwork beforehand, hopefully. This is a music box, so here we go. Okay, that's all you need to hear. It probably might get the copyright, but probably not. I don't think that is a copyrighted material right now, but it could be. I could be wrong on that part. So, yeah. So, Winnie the Pooh Day, first chapter. Let me try to read this very, very silently. Okay. One day, when Pooh Bear had nothing else to do, he thought he would do something. So he ran around to Piglet's house to see what Piglet was doing. It was still snowing, and he stumped over the white forest track. And he expected to find Piglet warming his toes in front of this fire. But to his surprise, he saw that the door was open. And then he looked inside, and the more Piglet wasn't there, he noticed. "He's out," said Pooh sadly. "That's what it is. He's not in. I shall have to go a fast thinking walk by myself. Bother!" But first he thought that he would knock very loudly to make quite sure. And while he waited for Piglet not to answer, he jumped up and down to keep warm. And a hum came onto his head, which seemed to him a good hum, such as hummed hopefully to others. The more it snows, tiddly-bum. The more it goes, tiddly-bum. The more it goes, tiddly-bum, on snowing, and no one knows, tiddly-bum, how cold my toes, tiddly-bum, how cold my toes, tiddly-bum, are growing. So what I'll do, said Pooh, is I'll do this. I'll just go home first and see what the time is, and perhaps I'll put a muffler round my neck, and then I'll go and see Eeyore and sing to him. He hurried back to his own house, and his mind was busy with the way in which hum that he was getting ready for Eeyore that when he suddenly saw Piglet sitting in his best armchair, he could only stand there and rubbing his head and wondering whose house he was in. "Hello, Piglet," he said. "I thought you were out." "No," said Piglet. "It's you who were out, Pooh." "So it was," said Pooh. "I knew one of us was." He looked up at his clock, which had stopped at 5 minutes to 11 some weeks ago. "Nearly 11 o'clock," said Pooh happily. "You're just in time for a little snack roll of something." And he put his head onto his cupboard. "And then we'll go out, Piglet, and sing my song to Eeyore." "What song, Pooh?" "The one we're going to sing to Eeyore," explained Pooh. The clock was still saying 5 minutes to 11 when Pooh and Piglet set on out on half an hour later. The wind had dropped. The snow had tired of rushing around the circles to catch itself up, now flurried gently down onto he found a place on which to rest. And sometimes the place was Pooh's nose, sometimes it wasn't. And in a little while, Piglet was wearing a white muffler around his neck and feeling more snowy behind his ears than he had felt before. Pooh, he said at last, and a little timidly because he didn't want Pooh to think he was giving in. I was wondering, how would it be if we went home and practiced your song, and then sing it to Eeyore tomorrow or or the next day when we happen to see him? That is a very good idea, Piglet, said Pooh. We'll practice it now and as we go along. But it's no good going home to practice it, because it's a special outdoor song which has to be sung in the snow. Are you sure? Piglet asked anxiously. Well, you see, Piglet, when you listen, because this is how it begins. The more it snows, tiddly-poo. Tiddly what? Said Piglet. Pooh, said Pooh. Put that in to make it more hummy. The more it goes, tiddly-pom. The more... Didn't you say snows? Yes, but that was before. Before the tiddly-pom? It was a different tiddly-pom, said Pooh, feeling rather muddled now. I'll sing it to you properly, and then you'll see. So he sang it again. The more it snows, tiddly-poo. The more it goes, tiddly-pom. The more it goes, tiddly-pom, on snowing. And nobody knows, tiddly-pom, how cold my toes, tiddly-pom. How cold my toes, tiddly-pom, are growing. He sang like that, which is much the best way of singing it. And when he finished, he waited for Piglet to say that of all the outdoor hums for snowy weather he had ever heard, this was the best. And after thinking the matter out carefully, Piglet said, Pooh, he said solemnly. It isn't the toes so much the ears. By the time they were getting near Eeyore's gloomy place, which was where he lived, and it was a very snowy behind Piglet's ears, and he was getting tired of it. They turned a little into the pine wood and sat down on the gate which led into it. They were out of the snow now, and it was very cold. And to keep themselves warm, they say Pooh's song right through 6 times. Piglet doing the diddly palms, and Pooh doing the rest of it, both of them thumping to the top of the gate, which pieces of it stuck to the proper places. It was a little while that they felt much warmer and were able to talk again. I've been thinking, said Pooh. What I've been thinking is this. I've been thinking about Eeyore. I'm stopping right here. I'm going to continue in a few minutes in the next stream, part 2. This will section it off, and it will be a nice stopping point to read a lot of the rest, and might go towards part 3, but you'll be able to see part 1, part 2, and part 3 at least. Hopefully everyone has a great time. 15 minutes exactly. And that's what I'll do next time too, probably. Okay, so, intro.